Right.
Well, what's see this? Well,
We're on Kuf Ches.
108.
Kuf Ches. So we said, how do we know that wine makes you hungrier? Because we said he used to drink wine Erev Pesach, so he would eat more matzah. So Tanan says, between the first and the second cups of the Arba Koisos, in Rocha Lishtos Yishta. If he wants to drink more, he can drink more. Because we're going to see, we want to increase our appetite for the meal, for the matzah, which we're going to eat after the two koisos. Ben shlish and revi lo yishte. But between the third and the fourth, which is after the meal, he should not drink more. Now, now, if wine makes you full, so why am I yishte? Why should you drink? Why should you be allowed to drink between the first two kosos? Then you're going to eat the matzah on a full stomach. We don't want that. So we see clearly that wine makes you hungrier. Okay, good proof. Rav Sheshes would fast, not because it was bechor, because he wanted to enter into the night of Pesach on a hungry. So Rav Sheshes. So maybe he was of the opinion that you have to stop eating even samuch l'mincha gedola, right? At 6 hours and 6.5 hours. And maybe his svar is mishum pisku, because that's the time that you shech the korban pesach. Because if you start eating then, you're going to be, your focus is going to be on the meal that you're eating, and you're going to forget to do the korban pesach. The Savar Loki Adam Rav Shimon Rav Elazar that Machshai ben B'Sevet Pesach Sheshachtu Shachus Barbasar Lishmo, that Ben B'Seira said you could even start checking the Korban Pesach early in the morning. Umitzafra Zman Pischuhu, and that the morning is also the time of Pesach, and really the Kula Yom Chazil Pesach, the whole day, not just in the afternoon erev Pesach. Why? The Sover Bein Arbayim, we learned Bein Arbayim means the afternoon. But he learned Bein Erev the Esmal Erev Dayitna. He said the Erev of last night to the next Erev, which is the whole day. And maybe that's why Rav Sheshes fasted, because it's related to the Pesach. And therefore he doesn't want to be involved in eating any part of the day, because he'll come to be attracted to the Suda, and he'll be Misrashel and not do the Korban Pesach. Versus Amir, no. Shani Rav Sheshes the Istanis of it. Rav Sheshes had a very delicate stomach. If he would eat even a little snack on Erev Pesach, he wouldn't be able to eat at night. So it's because he wanted to save his appetite for the matzah. If he would have even eaten breakfast, he wouldn't be able to eat anything at night. Okay. Then the Mishnah said, even a poor person in Klal Yisrael has to lean during the same. Itma. Matzah, tzarech haseh. When you eat matzah, you have to lean. More or ain't tzarech haseh, but when you eat more, you don't have to lean. What about yayin? So Itma, Rav Nachman, tzarech haseh. Rav Nachman says during wine, you have to lean. However, Itmar Mishmei Rav Nachman ain't tzarech haseh. You don't have to lean. But v'lo pligi, ha betarti kasei kamoy depends. The first two koisos, ha betarti kasei batroy, and some say no. It's different regarding the second two koisos. Now, which is which? Some ami lalahagi, so ami lalahagi, some learn one way, some learn the other. It means ami lalahagi, so trei kasei kamoy boya seba. Some hold that it's the first two koisos that need leaning. This is the beginning of Cherus. You're reading about Yetzias Mitzrayim, and it's the Haschala of Cherus. So it needs a seba. But trey kasi basroy lo boy a seba. Because my hava, that's the second two, the last two koisos, what happened, it happened already. And it doesn't need a seba. We already read the Haggadah. Now we're eating the Chag, and this is at the end of eating the Chag. So that doesn't require a seba. The Amila like it. So other people say just the opposite. Other Trey kasi basroy boy a seba. Only the last two koisos need leaning. Because the Kohav you're saying Hallel, you finished all the Cherus business, you're now a Ben Choyri. But Trey Kasi Kamoy, Loy Boy Aseba, but the first two courses don't, because the Akati Avadi Mayinu Ko'amar. In the middle of Agoda, you say Avadi Mayinu. So you're still slaves. So why should you lean? Oh, so now you had a machlokes between Rav Nachman. You have two statements in the name of Rav Nachman. Tzorech HaSeba, Ein Tzorech HaSeba. We went through this analysis that some say it relates to the first two, some relates to the last two. So Hashta Vit Marachi, Adi Boy HaSeba. Comes out that the reason why we lean in all four koises is because of this machlokes. We're not sure. So we lean on all of them. Okay. Pragtin. Pragtin means somebody who's lying flat on his back. So lo shmei haseba. That's not called haseba. Haseba's yamin, leaning to the right, also lo shmei haseba. Not only that, it's dangerous. The food might go down your trachea as opposed to the esophagus by leaning to the right side. So only leaning to the left is considered haseba. Isha itzel baila lo boy haseba. A woman with her husband present doesn't require leaning because she's subservient to the husband, basically. However, Isha chashuva, im Isha chashuva yitzrich haseba. But if she's an Isha chashuva, and the Shulchan Aruch says, Kol anoshim nikris uvizmanenu, Kol anoshim nikros chashuvos. He says, Avaloy nogu lahaseh v'pishitas haraviyah. The Ramah says the women, they are considered Isha chashuva, but the meaning is for them not to lean. Okay? I don't know why the Rav Yah says that. I don't know whether it's a tznius issue. Have to see the Rav Yah there. Iboilu, Talmid Eitzel Rabbi Mai. Talmid's having seder by his Rebbe. Is it permissible for him to lean or no? Toshma Am Rabaya. Kiavina Bei Mars Agina Abirke Dadodi. We all leaned on each other's laps. That way, we were all sort of in one group. You don't have to lean. That means the fear of your Rebbe is like the fear of Shammai. And a Talmid is Meshubah to the Rebbe, and he shouldn't show himself derech cherus like that. It's a lack of Moira, fear of your Rebbe. Meisvei, Makol, or the Meisiv, Afilu Talmid Eitzel Rabbo. Brisa here says that a Talmid does lean in the presence of his Rebbe. So Kitanya hi b'shuya denagri. That's an apprentice of a carpenter. If you're an apprentice you're learning how to be a plumber, you're learning how to be a carpenter. That kind of Rebbe, you're allowed to lean. But in your Torah Rebbe, you're not allowed to lean. So Iboilahu Shamish Mai. What about the waiter? Tosh Madam Rabbi Shimon Levi Hashamish Shachal Kazais Matzah. Kishu Mesiv Yotza. He has to lean. Mesiv in lo, Mesiv lo. Shmamino boy asepa. So the Shulchan Aruch says a Talmid Eitzel Rabbi does not require a seba, even if he's not his Rebbe Muvik. A Shamish has to lean. Okay. On Rabbi Shimon Levi. Noshim chayavis ba'arba koisus halol. Women are also mechuyev. It's a mitzvah sasesha zman grama, and usually women are potter. However, Afhein Ayu Boy Sanes says Bischar Noshim Sidkonyois Shahayu Boy Swador Nigalu. Or, for example, there are three mitzvahs: Arba Koisos, Mikra Megillah, and Chanuk, and Ner Chanukah that women are mechuyev. So by Mikra Megillah it says Mishum Da'al Yidei Esther Havda, and by Chanukah because Yehudis was the nace of Chanukah occurred there as well. Arba Koisos Halal Tzach Shei Yehei Ben Kedei Mezigas Kois Yofa. You need those people in the time of Chazal didn't drink their wine undiluted. They diluted the wine. And it used to be diluted 2 or 3 fold with water. So therefore, the koises have to be properly diluted. Then, shoson chai, if they drank it undiluted, yotza. You're still yotza. Shoson vasachas. Let's say you drank all 4 cups at one time. Not the way we do it with each mitzvah, like Kiddush, Magid, benching, Hallel, Yotz, still Yotz. Hishkaman Levanov Neveso, Yotz. If he gave from his kos to his children or to his wife, also Yotz. So the Gemara is going to analyze all this. Shosun Chayotz. So if you drank it undiluted, you're Yotz. Amarav Yidei Yayin Yotza, but Yidei Cheru Slow Yotza. A free man doesn't drink his wine that way. So the fact that he drank Arba Kois is fine, but he doesn't have a full mitzvah, says the Rashba. It's not choshev unless you diluted it. But the Rashbam says Yena Shalana Lo Boy Maziga. Our wine doesn't require dilution. Then we said Shosun Bavas Achas. You drank all 4 koses at one time. So again, Rav Amar Yidei Yayin Yotzi Yidei Arba Koises Lo Yotzi. Yayin you're Yotzi, but the Arba Koises have to be drunk throughout the evening. Kos Rishon, and then you have to bring 3 others, Ala Seder, and therefore the Arba Koises you have not been Yotzi. Hishkem in Levan of Leveso Yotzi Amar of Nachma Yitzchak. As long as he drinks the majority of the kos. You have to have a revius haloig, each kos, which is either 3.3 or 4.4 ounces. Echad chai ve'echad mazuk, whether it's raw or diluted. Echad chodesh ve'echad yashan, whether it's new or old. It has to have the appearance and the flavor of wine. Now, Tani Mias comes out where we learned that you said Kedei Revius. You started off by saying you have to have Revius, the Adam et Kois Yafeh, but then you said you need a good Kois, L'chol Echad Ve'echad. So, Amri, I didn't eat Echad Shiru. They're talking about the same Shir. Meaning, my Kedei Mezigas Kois Yafeh de Korban, L'chol Chad Ve'echad, Avalut Kula Revius. Each person has to Revius Yayin 1/4 of a log in the cups that they're drinking. Then Rabbi Ramer Tzach Shebo Tamu Mara, taste and appearance. Amar Rava, my time Rabbi Yehuda, the Chsiv, Altera Yayin Ki Sadam, has to be red wine, or Yayin Choshuv, it has to have a Mara, it has to be a red Mara because of this pasuk. Everyone is chayiv in arba kois. Echad anoshim, echad noshim, echad tinoikos. Even children. They don't enjoy wine. What is that for? You give them like walnuts and parched kernels. So that you shouldn't sleep, and they should be able to ask Manishtana. Okay. Okay, we'll stop here.